Excellent.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone, to our channel. I am Bryaunna Root. I'm a holistic nurse coach, an advanced theta healer, as well as a Holy Fire Reiki Master. And I'm joining today with my beautiful friend and soul sister.
I'm Naeomi Castellano, and you can find me everywhere on Scribe. It's just, I love that. And but I am a shamanic practitioner and master Reiki. I can't talk today. Oh, it's Mercury going into retrograde.
There you go.
Apologies, I may fumble this whole thing up, but anyway, yeah, and then also an Akashic reader, and I weave that into all the astrology that I do as well. So multifaceted weirdo.
Yes, a beautiful weirdo, and we love that. But together, we have created this channel, the Joyful Mystics Project, bringing in a lighthearted approach to astrology and really looking at the positive aspects and how we can transform our lives rather than be stuck in maybe the energies that we're surrounded with and what is coming in from the astrological side. So, yeah.
And the stuff that's coming in the astrological side is some big stuff. We are right here as we're recording. We are the day before the eclipse, but this is timeless. So, you can just tune in because this is rippling out for a little while. But yeah, we're right in that window of the eclipse happening. And oh my goodness, it is happening in Taurus, which is all about our body and like really connecting into our sensations. It's going to probably bring your emotions up to the surface as well through body. And it's also happening right next to Uranus. And Uranus is such a big, I kind of call it like the lightning rod of the planets, where it just flashes you with like these big old downloads. It's, if you kind of imagine, like if we're in a dark room, Uranus is the one that like flicks the switch on, you see everything, and then the light turns out again. And so it's associated with lightning. And yeah, so this eclipse is activating some big things in terms of big aha moments. And you may not get the big aha moment like right this moment. It may kind of come in waves throughout the year. Or, this is basically like we were talking a little bit before we started, that it's like dominoes, where this eclipse basically just hits the next domino and off it goes. And it's really up to us the way in which we roll with it, kind of like waves in an ocean. We can either surf it or we can crash. So just by knowing that this is activating some big emotions and radical change, that you can move with that. You can see what's coming up for you in terms of what is radically being awakened in you. And what does it want? What do these planets want to tell you? The other thing that is kind of interesting, speaking of Mercury, I can't even say it, Mercury retrograde happening very soon, is that that's also happening conjunct the Pleiades. And this is, I'm going to probably talk about the Pleiades all the time because I love them. They're the seven sisters in the sky. And when Mercury is hanging out with those seven sisters, Mercury is the messenger, the one that relays all the information. It's that communication bridge. And then the seven sisters, if you think of our seven chakras, that's another bridge too. So this eclipse happening with Uranus, which is like the lightning rod, like big, explosive aha moments. And then you've also got Mercury hanging out, and it's in this liminal bridge space. We're able to really tap into that, into our divine muse. The muses are the seven sisters, and we can communicate with this big energy in a deeper, more meaningful way, hopefully.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's so powerful. And just as you were explaining that, oh goodness, when you're talking about being in Taurus, and Taurus is my rising, or I'm a Taurus ascending, or however you say it. I don't pretend to know. You're the astrology.
Like, we need to interview you.
Oh
so
my
how
goodness.
is this happening for you personally, Bryaunna?
Seriously.
You're experiencing this big time.
When you when you talk about it being very much in the physical body, 100%. And yes, I know, like recently I've done a lot of theta healing as I'm working on becoming a medical intuitive. And so we did the energetic part, the belief work, the emotional, mental part of that. And so now I've recognized just in these last couple days that now my physical body is trying to catch up with that. And I heard, I can't even remember where I heard it last night. Maybe it was in my head, but I thought it was beautiful. And it was talking about that separation. And it was said, negative emotion is you not being up to speed with what you've just become. Oh. And so for my personal experience in shifting that vibrational energy and raising that vibrational level up, it's like now my body is getting a chance to catch up with that. But at the same time, it still gets to go through its processes, right? And we get to honor that. And when you're talking about the Seven Sisters and the Mercury retrograde, it was bringing to mind about, how the seven chakras, what I was seeing is that with that light, with the Uranus light of flipping on the switch, it's like we're so dependent on what we see, what we visualize in our personal experience. Mm-hmm. And even within our clear senses, right? So many people are like, I can't see. I don't have that clairvoyance and I want it so bad, because it's easy for us to understand and accept and recognize that. And so what I'm hearing with this is the energy of what's coming up is Uranus shining a light on it for a second, but it's like you can't just depend on your visual sight or your third eye sight to be able to see it. You get to tap into all of those other ways that we experience energy, that we experience an understanding within ourselves in the physical body, right? The emotions, what they feel like, the sensations, what they feel like, our health, what our cells are wanting, right? Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was so beautiful, and especially bringing in the idea of the waves, because I appreciate that you recognize it's a choice. If we can acknowledge what we're experiencing, we can anticipate, like, okay, I know this is what's going on outside in the collective, astrologically, so I can understand how that might affect me personally. And if I'm willing to go with the flow, I can ride that wave all day long and I can have a blast. It might be exhausting, but I can have a blast. Or if I'm trying to resist it the whole way, or I'm trying to get out of the flow when it's carrying me straight into the rocks, then where are you going to end up? You're going to crash and burn to some extent, right? Mm-hmm. So just really reinforcing that that we do get that choice if we can step back and see it for what it is, rather than get so caught up in the feeling of things and the thoughts and the vision that we're trying to force into creation, rather than going with it and allowing it to unfold for us.
So true. Like, don't believe everything you think.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and also, it's so true that sometimes we can't really see something until we experience something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's like pivotal. And then you can kind of like look back and reflect, like, oh wow, yeah, these things are coming up. And you can even see like the silver lining in all these different things. So when things come up that are challenging, it's like, so what was the silver lining with that? And then what's the advantage of it, actually?
What's the lesson for me? Yeah. What do I get out of this, rather than, Yeah.
Because sometimes like it'll stir up something and it'll be like, well, cool. And like now I can see that that's something that bothers me. Let me handle it now before it
Mm-hmm.
overinflates and that wave gets to turn into a tsunami. So,
Right.
and
Or that idea of like, finally we're shining a light on this and I'm coming from a place where I can see what the lesson is. So that way I'm not forcing myself to learn that same lesson over and over and harder and more obvious and more painful each time, right? Like you can jump out in front of it and get it ahead of time.
so
Love
true.
that.
And I'm like actively embodying that because this eclipse is actually going right over my personal Chiron, which is like the wounded healer. And
Mm.
so I was almost tempted to just like change this to the cranky mystic instead, because I was like, how am I going to step up to be the joyful mystic over here in this project when this is like rubbing on like the salt is going
Mm.
straight into this karmic wound.
Mm.
And so it's like, okay, it's been very challenging, but at the same time, I've had to really look at it in the eye and just be like, how can I just be radically honest with myself? And
Yeah.
that like transmute and changes everything when you can look at your reflection in the eye and
Mm.
see like it's okay to have these things that are bugging us.
Yeah.
But how can we actually make the most of it? So
Right.
yeah. Ah, I've got some cards to read. Shall we tap into
Yes,
some?
absolutely. Let's do that.
Yeah. So
Oh, and real quick, I'm just noticing that it was 444 just as I was looking at that. So love
oh my
that.
gosh, which
Beautiful.
reminds me, that's like the perfect grounding number. Let's do a quick
Oh, maybe that was
little,
why.
yeah. No, I'm glad that you said that because that's the angel saying it's time to, I found this really cool match that has like, it's a
Oh.
double match. And so I'm going to use this symbolically as the sun, that is the big illuminator, the moon, which is that dark illuminator. And then
Mm,
interestingly, it's combined into this like,
right there. That's beautiful.
yeah,
Oh,
so
fun.
I'm gonna light this candle,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a portal of energy,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tap into that wherever you are. Oh wow. And that like I get ringing in my ears a lot, and my ears just went zoom when I lit that candle. So I can feel you guys tuning in,
Mm, beautiful.
and that is very cool to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, now that we have our divine illuminated candle lit, illuminated in different ways, I guess. Yeah, it's a candle.
Double illuminated.
Oh, good. Well, we'll go ahead and ground in and just open ourselves to being able to receive the wisdom and the guidance that wants to flow through today in whatever meaningful way that is for you. Feel free to take or leave whatever information we get to share. If it doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. And also recognize that all in divine timing, right? So what may be appropriate for some people now, you may be a week or two and realize that now you're ready to receive this information. So and during this time as we ground in, which is so important, if you don't already have that within your daily practice, I highly recommend it on so many levels. And one of these days I'll talk more about that. But so important for the physical body, the energetic body, the emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, all of it together. And so I invite you, and for those who are open and willing to receive it, I'll be sending Holy Fire Reiki energy out to everyone, everyone that's
We've
watching
got
this.
two
Yes,
people hanging out
absolutely.
there.
Infusing this whole video. So whether or not you're experiencing the grounding part of it, or if you pop in later, just know that if you're open to receiving it, you get to be filled with that unconditional love and Holy Fire Reiki energy. So I just invite you all to just turn inward and just connect with your breath, with your feet on the floor, feeling grounded, connecting with your breath, noticing the sensation as the air moves in through your nose and out past your lips with each exhale. Allowing your body to relax and sink more deeply into the surface that holds you, knowing that you are safe and secure in this moment, and that all energy that is sent, received, transmuted in this episode, in these downloads and these activations, that it's all sent with the intent for the highest and greatest good. And just begin to visualize and to feel a tingling sensation on the bottom of your feet. Beginning to picture tiny little roots beginning to sprout out the bottom of your feet. Allowing those roots to dig deeper into the ground. Digging deep into the crust of the earth, moving down into the mantle until they come to the very center of the earth, the beautiful crystalline core, the heart of Mother Earth, allowing your roots to begin to wrap around and embrace that crystalline core, connecting you with the beautiful healing energy. Feeling this tingling sensation, this light, this love, this healing move up into your roots. Moving up into the bottom of your feet. Feeling that warmth and tingling sensation as it begins to penetrate every cell, embracing every molecule, saturating every particle, every light wave and frequency of your being with divine, unconditional, infinite love and healing. Moving up from your feet up into your legs, into your knees, settling at the base of your spine, visualizing this as a beautiful red energy center known as the root chakra. This is the energy of your foundation of safety and security. As we move up through each individual chakras, we allow them to open up to receive this healing and to be filled with unconditional love, to be activated and to be balanced perfectly for you and your greatest and highest good. Moving up from the root chakra up into the womb space, into the lower belly. Visualizing this as a beautiful orange energy center, your sacral chakra. This is the energy of sexuality, of creation and creativity. Moving up into the upper belly, visualizing this as a beautiful yellow energy center. This is the I am center. This is your sense of self. And this is also connected with your intuition. Feeling each chakra opening, being activated and balancing perfectly as we move up into the heart space. Visualizing this as a beautiful green energy center. The electromagnetic field of the heart has been imaged as extending well beyond the physical body. And as we connect with this heart space, I invite you to know that it's safe for you to reach out as if your energetic heart chakra had tiny little arms or roots moving out from the center of it through your chest and connecting with those around you, connecting with the ones that are receiving this energy, that are setting the intention of expansion and growth in the highest vibrational way, filled with love and sharing that and connecting on that level. And then as that heart space opens up, allowing that energy to move up through your throat chakra, Visualizing this as a teal blue or a light blue energy center. This is the center of your self-expression and of communication, both giving and receiving, and recognizing that this gets to bring clarity to the communication that you receive and that you offer. Moving up into between the space between your eyebrows and your forehead, seeing this as a beautiful purple energy center known as your third eye chakra. Allowing this to open, to be healed, to be activated and balanced, receiving clarity of vision and sight. And finally, allowing that energy to move out through the top of your head, out through your crown chakra, and encasing you in this beautiful bubble of white light, this energy of healing and unconditional love. Allowing all of your cells to just marinate in this energy for a minute as you receive the healing that you are ready for in this moment, to receive the transmission and the guidance that is meant for you and for your highest good. Feeling that bubble of white light around you begin to expand further, feeling the room that you're in, feeling how big you are, how amazing and how full of love and light that you can be in that potential, in your greatest potential. And then drawing that energy back into the heart center as you reclaim yourself, your energy. Bringing that back down into the heart center. Taking in 2 more deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can open up your eyes.
Mm. That felt
Thank
so
you.
good.
I think we all could use a little.
Can we just sit there and marinate for like the rest of
Absolutely. And just know that you get to continue to receive that energy as long as you're open and willing to. So absolutely marinate all night long.
In fact, yeah, take this into your sleep and let the Reiki that is infusing all of the energy, and now I can deeply feel the connecting. That just completely filled me up with love.
Yeah.
And I can hear my kids just got home. So now,
Definitely.
that child love too entering the sphere.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, letting this like take you into the dream time and really letting your cells marinate in this all night long. So,
because you deserve it and you're worthy of it, right?
oh, I did not even pull that, but let's save that for the end. Let's find out what those are about.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So right now with this, what I think I want to ask the cards and the guides and the ancestors and the planets is, what is being activated within this space, in this group, what is being activated for us so that it can rekindle our spark and it can rejuvenate us and nurture us. What is it what is being activated in that sense?
I love that.
Ooh, here we go. Oh my goodness, so many cards. Today is the day of lots of cards. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at this. What is being activated right now? I'm going to look at this for just a split second, but I got excited already. Oh my gosh. Okay, here. The Cosmic Heart.
Oh, yes.
And
of course.
We just activated that. And
yes, we did.
This is new for me to be doing readings with a expansive group and out of time and space, which means that honestly, somebody could be listening to this 20 years later and is still connecting to this cosmic heart that we have generated here together as a group of healing, powerful, inspirational, magical women.
Love
And
it.
just think about how potent that is when we create these moments of love and generosity and healing, that it ripples out in all dimensions, in all times, to everyone that is willing and open to catching it. And so here she is dancing, and just look at how just reverent and how she's just soaking that in. It almost looks like she's in just enraptured in some kind of cosmic beautiful music that we can't even comprehend how beautiful it is. And then the next was this one, a new earth. That when we open this portal, this love portal, we are creating the next wave for what this earth could be. So we're bringing in our highest potential, and that generates the earth's highest potential, humanity's highest potential. And this is, I mean, we're just reading small little bits of paper that ignite the subconscious, but look at what the message is coming through for what this little thing that we just created is doing. We're dreaming.
Yes, and I want to expand on that because in my recent theta healing intuitive anatomy training, it was the women that I got to be in collaboration with were absolutely divine and amazing. And 1 second, sorry.
You've got littles too. Like, so it's just being infused with child energy.
Okay, we're going with it then.
Child self, like, your actual children or children that are in your life. Just, that child.
Because that's the energy that we need, absolutely. And what you're talking about and what we create, that vortex of energy and healing that we create, I can express that from firsthand experience. That was shocking to me, as I've never experienced that high vibrational energy as a collective with people before. Always very much in my own energy. Granted, I am very much an empath and very sensitive as a human design projector, 5/1 splenic energy. Like, I am a sponge for everybody, right? But at the same time, in the sense of what we created, and I feel that in this space and what we're doing in this time space now, and the downloads that are coming through, is that when we come together in an energy of collaboration and in unity, bringing our own authentic selves to the picture, not trying to be anything that we're not, just being your divine authentic self, creates this energy. It's its own energetic being, right? Absolutely. And the fact, like, when you talk about that cosmic heart, that's exactly what that is that energy as we come together. And it's like, it's symbiosis, right? Each individual part can't even fathom the vibration or the intensity or the possibility of what we create as a whole. And when you were talking about that, it was the cosmic heart and then the new earth. And so absolutely, yes. And I feel like part of me has this resistance and this triggering of like, oh, it's a new earth. Oh, we're bringing in love. Like, love fixes everything. But I will say, but I will say too, in the work that I've been doing, in the energy work that I've been doing, the reason why that is, and I can connect with it on such a deeper level now, is because the frequency of unconditional love is like the highest vibrational frequency. And so when our world is stuck in this lower vibration of scarcity, of fear, of grief, of sorrow, of all of these, and not to say that they're not warranted, absolutely. But it's whether or not we choose to stay stuck in that energy. Not saying that it's not okay to allow ourselves to feel those, just don't stay there and recognize that there's something different. And so honoring yourself as you're expressing that vibration in whatever way that is, but allowing it to pass through you rather than stuff it down. And so now that is your energy. It's not an experience anymore. It's who you are. And so recognizing the power that we have within ourselves to allow ourselves to be open and to know that it's safe to connect with the energy of love and the power behind it. And that sounds super cheesy as it's coming out of my mouth, but it's like, but experiencing it too, right? What does unconditional love feel like? And I know a lot of people, that's not possible because we have so many beliefs and programs that keep us from being able to tap into that. But I also get to say here now that it 100% is, if you're choosing to acknowledge it and to allow yourself to experiment and play with it, right?
And I really feel like with that, you know, sometimes we have seen some hard things and have to get through difficult things, but gratitude and love really are the key to unlocking the doors to different timelines where it doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be lack mentality, that you can actually unlock the door just by simply tuning your focus. Like this is why, you know, people train, and this has been passed down through the mystics for ages, that it takes a sharp sword-like mind to cut through the bullshit and actually focus on what's good. Focus on every single thing that actually is working in your life and see how that actually is unlocking the next door that feels impossible at first. Where just like look back at yourself so many years ago and look at where you are now and how different you are today sitting here than you were maybe even last year, you know?
Or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Or yesterday, you know, like.
Yeah.
So the cards that fell out before I even tuned in, it was just confirming that yes, indeed, blue. So this is the blue flame, but it says spontaneous awakening, activation, and then integration time. Integration time is so key. But what happened here, and I like to go out there. Like for me, I really do really I enjoy being grounded, and I also like to zoom way the hell out and get galactic. This brought in the Arcturians. That Arcturian energy is the energy, they pretty much embody the higher self energy. They embody that unconditional love. You can tune into this star family, this collective of energy, to actually ask for deep, deep healing and rejuvenation. I kind of call them the doctors of the cosmos.
Oh, interesting.
They come in every time I'm doing Reiki, and so I'm not actually surprised. I'm all zoomed in, like I'm really feeling the Reiki, like I'm juicy.
Yeah.
It's flowing. And so it to me, I'm just like, okay, so guys, tap into that Arcturian energy, and you can ask them. It's like, look, I've got these different things that I want to heal. They'll come in and they'll take their unconditional love and they will stitch you back together. They will mend your energy anywhere where there are rips, tears, frays, anything. Or even just you know what, this pattern no longer is what I want to wear today. Can you help me reconfigure a new pattern so that I can step into my best and highest self? And you can ask for that. It's actually your divine right. You were born with this. And you can, all you have to do is say, yeah, I like that idea. And then see the breadcrumbs
And then,
that come
follow it.
after that. Yeah.
Open up your senses to be able to perceive. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the guides are constantly showing us the way through what we're excited about, what we're grateful for, what we love. That's the way that they communicate with us. So if you can train your senses to find those little Easter eggs hidden in your life, like run for them, you know?
And that's so important because when you're talking about reflection, which is key, we can't understand what we're capable of if we don't reflect on what we've already accomplished, right? In one way or another. And gratitude is key as well, obviously, because that also helps to raise your vibration, but it's like, it's that neurological rewiring, right? If you're always stuck in the negative, only seeing that, watching the news 24/7, and I know that I did that for a long time, then I cut it out for a year, and it's like, oh, I can still stay updated and not watch it all the time because it's just saying the same shit over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not choosing to be ignorant of that, but it's also not exposing myself intentionally to stuff that is not serving me in any way. But what I was going to talk about, say it. What were you were just saying?
Oh my gosh, we've said so much.
No, it was about gratitude, and it was about reflection. Dang it. Either way, but going into that and just allowing ourselves to see what's possible. But the neurological rewiring of it, when you do gratitude, studies have shown that even by doing it for 5 minutes a day, 4 days a week, 10 minutes a day, 4 times a week, you not only improve your immune system functioning by like 50%, but we start to rewire our brain, right? To be able to see the positive aspects in our lives, to be able to see more that we are grateful for. And I said that because you talked about the Easter eggs. The more we acknowledge what we're seeing, what we're perceiving, in whatever sense that is, it doesn't have to be just sight, remember. It can be however you perceive things most clearly. But the more that we acknowledge it, the more we actually create new neurological pathways to be able to see more of them. And so it's like those angel numbers, right? 4444. The more I acknowledge that I'm seeing that, connecting with my guides and them saying like, I got that message, thank you, the more you're going to see, and the more guidance you're going to receive as well. And so that was where
the clearer the message, because that 444, it's like maybe last year it just would have been cool. We'll be like, oh, cool, I see 444. This time around, it's like tuning in is like 444, ground. Let's ground. Got it. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Thank you, ancestors, whoever, my higher self. Thank you for giving me that message.
Yeah. Beautiful. Love it.
The other card that popped out right at the beginning was this one. Surrender to the sweetness. Surrender to the sweetness. And this one actually, what came through with that was a little different, because of course everything can that we love and we enjoy and get excited about is us surrendering to the sweetness, but also surrendering to the feelings that you just have, and just recognizing that this is a gift that we as human people, this planet gets to experience emotions in the body in such a different way than the rest of the cosmos does. And that is actually kind of a profound gift. And so even the things that cause us trouble, and especially right now, see, oh my goodness, where it's like, savor the sweetness of being able to actually feel what you feel, whatever it is that you feel. So, and we've got Venus that rules Taurus. Venus is, and we've got so much Venus energy. I don't know much about the Venus gates, but I do know just from another astrologer. I think I might say her name wrong, but Nura, I believe is her name. She was talking about the Venus gates, and right now the Venus gate is moving through the heart chakra, and it's opening the doorway here. So the Venus energy, she's a guide of ours right now, like profound love and healing energy. So on that note, we've got some crystals that can help us move through this big activation. I don't even know what they are. Here we go. What is this? What have we got?
Oh, they're upside down. Is that amethyst?
Are they both upside down? Let's see. Yes, amethyst. Sorry. Amethyst. So that purple flame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I have a little.
Yes.
I love this one because it's my smoky quartz and amethyst, and it's hard to see that purple. It's very light, but
yeah. Yeah, why don't you just rain some purple amethyst energy? And look at that with the moon. I just think
of course.
And the moon and the sun, I mean, how beautiful is that happening for us right now? What just popped in is put a little, if you have a little amethyst tumbled stone or a little tiny quartz, that you can pop into some water,
Yeah.
drink that, because you putting the crystal energy healing codes into your body's water, then your body
Mm.
begins to reprogram itself because you are made of water. So if you,
Yes.
like, I've got this water bottle that actually,
Oh, fun.
I splurged. I had to get this.
That's great.
And so I've been drinking rose infused, like rose crystal infused water for the past like couple weeks, and I love this. I don't think I will ever change my water bottle again.
Well, I hope you wash it.
Oh yeah.
I've been doing that.
Oh, the rose quartz cleans everything. I never have to
Right?
wash this ever. The power of,
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah,
Okay,
I
this
do it
is
old
a secret.
school. I throw it all in there. But I'll say I do want to touch on the water aspect of it
Yeah.
because you brought up the ocean. We're talking about being in the flow of things. Um, and I have no idea if Uranus has anything to do with water, but I feel like there could be a connection there anyways.
I mean,
Maybe not. And it,
it's Aquarian energy, and Aquarius, although is
okay,
not a water
is
sign, it's an
air
air
technically,
sign.
right? Yeah.
But if you think about the way that, the actual constellation is pouring a pitcher of water
Right. That's where it
down,
is. Okay.
it is the water bearer. So
Yeah.
to some degree, we're stretching this. We're just stretching
Yeah. It's intuitive. We're just going with
water.
that, right?
Water.
Whatever. You don't have to contain it. But like you said, we're made up of more than 70% water. And I know I like anybody who has looked at, I think it's Masaru Emoto. I forget
Oh
how to
yeah.
pronounce his name without it being right in front of my face. But
Mm-hmm.
it talks about obviously energy. Everything is energy, right? So our intentions, our thoughts, our feelings are all energy. And they actually showed the difference of water that has been either prayed over, blessed by monks, or spoken. And I actually have my water that I put out for the moon. I have my Reiki symbols around them. I have words of love and joy and peace on them. I put Holy Fire Reiki over that, as well as intentions and theta healing when I set my water, but recognizing like all of that is to be infused into this physical body, right? And it really does have an incredible power to it. And the beautiful part of Emoto's work is that you can actually visualize and see the difference of water that has been blessed and spoken over positively in its crystalline form, and how beautiful and intricate that is compared to water that has been neglected, that has been like they actually taped words that were super negative on them, and they could see it under a microscope frozen, and it was not even, most of them were like, you couldn't even, they were incoherent, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so bringing it down to that scale of things and recognizing the power of our words, of our intentions, of our thoughts on water, and then translating to that to we are made up of more than 70% water. So what are your thoughts and your emotions doing in your physical body? And if you haven't experienced that in chronic disease, which I used to or have educated people on as a nurse, like we forget the power that we have within ourselves to be able to make these changes, and it just takes some awareness as that first step, right?
Yeah. And it's like we have so many helpers just around us that sometimes, if it feels too hard to do it cognitively, like, oh, these are things that I can never change, the crystal, you can ask it, and then put it in the water, and you'll slowly start to gain confidence around, yeah, I can do whatever I need to do and make different choices that benefit me. And that crystal's definitely helping. This is really sweet. So we have two animal helpers as well that came. So we've got the river otter. And
Oh, beautiful.
so this is moving with that flow, like water energy, big time. And we've got that crystalline rainbow energy. Like I love looking for rainbows in crystals. I just always
Mm.
feel super connected when I see a rainbow in a crystal, for me personally.
Well, and the otters too, very much that loving, compassionate community energy too. And very much, like in my Spirit Animal Oracle messages, they're like holding each other. And it's the yin and the yang, but it's also just that connection, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's powerful in the relationships that we're grounding in. We talked about communication being a big part of this, the energy of what's going on now too, and being in communication in community, whether that's within your own intimate relationships, within the external communities that you're a part of, your neighborhood, your town, your city, but also community within yourself.
Right.
And, and we forget that as being a part of it, because we are a collective of microorganisms, and more so microbes than actual physical human cells, right?
It's wicked. So that is just amazing.
Sorry.
So the other crystal that came out was garden quartz, that there are worlds within you. So this is like, I kind of was imagining like each of us is this beautiful crystal and we are all beaming this love energy to each other. Like we are all magical geniuses in our own way. And here we are infusing each and every one of us with like this beautiful energy.
I
And
love that.
then we also got the white-tailed deer. And
Ooh.
I'm just seeing this as like, again, community, very, very feminine. Like, they kind of map the mountains with their little trails, their deer trails.
Mm-hmm.
They're also very protective, like that energy. I'm gonna actually get it down. Oh, of this antler that I found in the woods. So it's like, I mean, just think about having this thing on the top of your head. Like, if I had this on my head, I would feel like a freaking boss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is incredible. So, just run with your antler. I wish that I had found the other one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Claim your authority,
Yeah. So
right?
the other one you can't see, but it is still here.
Oh, I see it. I feel it for
Oh,
sure.
good, good, good. But yeah, I mean, these are what I'm kind of feeling from the deer coming through is it's always attentive. It knows, it can hear things and can turn on a dime. Like basically it's like, okay, what direction are you going to go, and feel it out and know that you are always safe and you are always protected, that the earth is taking care of you, your world is taking care of you. And yeah, I'm just also seeing this little family, this community of deer coming through. And it says pause, assess, and act. So it's like tune into what you actually need to do right now. And that small little quiet voice will actually tell you what needs to happen next.
Right. And I feel like that's stepping out, like you have all the triangles, right? And so again, it's
Yeah.
worlds within worlds. It's like stepping out of this external world of chaos, stepping into your internal world and being able to to choose how you want to respond, rather than constantly being in reaction mode to everything that's going on
Right.
around you, which is so flippin' exhausting, right? I mean,
Yeah.
my gosh, I've been there. I have my moments, and I'll say one of the best ways to get you out of that. I did this yesterday. I probably should do it more often, but it also goes into the energy of the Taurian energy of the earth energy. Is we talked about it, grounding, right?
Mhm.
Literally throw yourself on the ground. Like if things just get to be too much for you, and then, like I said, as an empath, as a sensitive person, so much I forget that I don't realize or don't take the time to step back and acknowledge that it's not me, it's not mine, it's just everything around me that I'm absorbing. And so allowing yourself to connect with that energy, to have that transfer of ions from the earth into your physical body, right? Restoring it from that level, but then also doing a visualization of just allowing all that is not serving you to just drain out of your body, and to allow, as you're clearing that space out of the physical part, out of the energetic part of your body, to allow yourself to be filled with what does serve you. And for me, I had mentioned to you, that it was downloads, right? Like, I don't have to understand them. I don't have to be able to interpret them right away, but it's like I'm just creating space. And then I'm allowing myself to receive. And I don't have to make sense of it all in that one moment. I can sit there. I can assess what feels different, what looks different. And then I get to take that information and to make sense of it. Maybe that's meant for me to make sense of. Maybe it's something that I just get to ground in. I don't have to force it to be anything that it's not, but just allow that process to take place.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm just like, the energies are really big.
They are.
Yeah.
But they don't, and they can be overwhelming, but we also have the power and the choice to step out of it for a minute and just breathe. And maybe that's what we need most, is grounding and breathing in and just feeling, what does my own self feel like, instead of everything else that I'm experiencing outside of me.
Yeah. Well, I hope that everybody gets a really good night's sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Enjoying the beautiful Reiki, and also whatever will come through with this activation of the the reading, and just this alignment of so much happening. Like, we are these small little pieces of the bigger puzzle. So it's like everything, we sometimes feel like, oh, it's so far, like, what does Uranus have anything to do with my life? Well, like on a physics level, everything is affected by the ripple of space and time. And so,
Right.
here we are with, these different bodies in the sky, like pulling on our water. I think that's probably why this water comes up for us, is that it's the sun, the moon, Uranus, everything out there is constantly pulling our water around. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
if we're tuned into the direction that it wants to go, in terms of like our flow, our emotional flow, our like, are we literally hydrated, And
Yeah.
then what kind of messaging are we putting into our water? So, all of this, and Mercury is messing with my brain, and
There's a lot going on for sure right now, and I've recognized that for my clients, for my friends, from the communities that I'm a part of. If it's feeling really intense, and I kind of touching on that deer energy, in a deck that I have, it's Bring a Gentle Touch. And to me, it's just that reminder that so much of this is so big. It so much feels so intense and exhausting, and we're getting it from all angles. If you can't be gentle with yourself, then where else do you expect to get that gentle touch from?
Right. Everything is a mirror. So it's like the first step. It's actually kind of interesting, because when you say, like, how can anybody else, how can you expect the world to be gentle to you if you're not being gentle? It's kind of like looking in the mirror and like holding the comb and being like, well, comb my hair. Well, you gotta comb your hair.
You
And
still
then
have to take action.
and then the mirror will respond, and you will see it happen. And so you have to take the first step of, what do you want to see? Then you have to bring it out of you. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's harder to do that than, like, it's easy to say that. But then in the moment, it's not always easy to say that, like
Yeah.
to embody that. And it's
Right.
okay. We're all learning how to do this. It's like that's why
Just,
this channel exists,
yeah,
because each of us are doing, this in our own way too. Like,
right.
yeah,
And just like water that has been so prominent is it ebbs and flows. And
yeah.
we get to acknowledge that we ebb and flow. And when we're in the flow, jump on it. And when we're not, be gentle with yourself. And it's all okay.
And then the last card that I pulled was, I love to pull a crystal, an animal, and an herb, because I feel like that gives us, we went out there with the, cosmic cards, and then we even brought in an Arcturian guide and all this beautiful, like, woo, we went out there,
Right?
and then we grounded in
Mm-hmm.
by being able to notice the deer energy within us, the otter energy, the
Mm-hmm.
crystalline, like we actually have practical tools now. We can put crystals in our water, safe crystals. Look them up.
Yes.
Make sure that they're safe for your water. If it is
Real
quartz, if it is like in the quartz family, you know that it's safe.
I just want to say, disclaimer, we're not, I mean, I'm a medical nurse, yes, but this is by no means medical advice. Please reach
Oh yeah.
out to your medical team to consider what's appropriate for you and what's not. This is all just information that you get to choose how to use it, and we're not responsible for anything. And nurse out.
But yeah, take a look at the herb that I pulled. Okay, technically this is
Yeah.
a tree, but right now this is the white willow, and it says the ways of water. So, the willow above and
Yeah.
below is moving with water. You see it in its branches that move and
Mm-hmm.
sway with the ripples that air kind of feels like water sometimes. And
Mm-hmm.
then you've got the water down below. And then also what's interesting about willow is that it is a natural pain reliever. Again, guys,
Mm-hmm.
not a medical doctor here, but at the same time,
Traditionally, it's been used as a analgesic. There you go.
yeah, and you can literally like go out there, peel back the bark, gnaw on this little piece of willow to relieve your headache if you've got one. I've done this before walking my dog, where it's like, man, I've got a headache, and then there's a willow. Lovely. I'll just, bite the tree. I am the weird chick that's biting trees out in the wilderness. So I trip
Oh,
up my neighbors all the time.
I
Yeah.
love that
So
too because it also embodies the feminine flow and strength, right?
yes.
Because
Mhm.
rigidity is not necessarily strength, and
Yeah.
that's part of it is that it can bend, it can bend until it's not going to break like everything else in that
It's so
same way.
true.
So flexible.
I didn't understand that.
It's okay if you don't understand that.
Ooh, yes. Oh my goodness, so many crazy things happening.
I
That
didn't just
never
say
has
that
happened
randomly. It's
before.
like if you guys didn't hear it, her computer said, I don't
That was
understand your
that was
phone.
my phone, Alexa, and I don't ever talk to her, so I don't know why she's popping up, but it is. Maybe not everybody understands that,
You know,
you
so
know.
this is a divine space that we just created. Having that pop up. So it's like, the computer part of us is that brain, and moving into the feminine energy is that we don't
Cannot
always
compute.
understand it. And, let's say, like, with your emotional release,
Hmm.
that maybe you don't need to have the story, the why, all of the, let's go back to the root cause to find out who hurt me and when, like, none of that matters sometimes, where maybe the process is in that yin water, that you just release it,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
the brain does not have to understand with a robot, like,
right. And
yeah.
this is only what, like 1% of the wisdom that we carry within our bodies. And our cells are
Mhm.
so much more. And water truly does have memories, right? It's not just part
It
of like
it
a
does.
Frozen movie. It really does. And
Well, I mean,
so
that's
acknowledging that water within us has wisdom and that we get to
right.
tap into that at any point when we recognize that power and that it's not all in this intellectual power because that's only what we've taught ourselves. How
Yeah.
much of that is the truth? How much of it isn't? And that's questionable these days for sure. But I love the willow. That was a perfect. And that literally came up for me the other night too. And it's my daughter's favorite plant tree. She's like, if I was going to be an animal or a plant, I would be a willow tree. So I love that.
I love that. It's beautiful. Well, that is it for the cards. Because I think that's enough. That's plenty to go off of and let ourselves kind of incubate in. And then, whether you're watching this the day of the solar eclipse or a few days after, you can just know that this energy is guiding and healing the activation on such a deep level, and that at all points and all times, you are always wrapped up in unconditional love around you. And all we have to do is just train our eyes to see it.
Yeah.
And it is there.
And be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to be in flow in all ways, and honor your own journey and your own path, because no one else will, for one. Like, you can't expect that from anyone else, but also you're stuck with yourself for your life. So if you're not, you get to honor yourself in that way. And as you are more gentle, as you do honor yourself, as you allow yourself to become your authentic self, if you're not already, or to even see what that looks like, it's a journey, it's a process, and we get to have fun along the way. Approach it with the energy of curiosity, right? It doesn't have to be, I have to know this, I have to master it. It's like, oh, this gets to be fun. What do I get to learn today? What do I get to release today? How do I get to grow? And just open up to the possibility of expansion and where that gets to take you.
Okay. I love this. I love this so much. And so I think with that, we're going to close the circle and just say thank you, and so much, just so much love and gratitude to everyone who listened the whole way, all the way to this point here. Like, I'm so glad
if you watch to the end, what do we want them to put up? Is there a tree emoji or like a water emoji? Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this.
I don't know.
We'll challenge. No, we're doing stars. Come on now. Okay, if you watch this to the end, put 3 stars in the comments so we know, and that helps all the algorithms. And by all means, share this with people who you feel it may resonate with, or somebody that just needs some Reiki love, some energy, some lifting up, some sense of community and belonging. We all get to find that, whatever it is to us. If this isn't that for you, then that's fine. I hope you find whatever that is. And if it is, welcome, and we will hold you and lift you up and all get to rise together.
I love it. So maybe one of these days we do some fun little giveaways at the very end. I'm already starting to think of like exciting, fun things to like. Yeah, I like the idea of Easter eggs. So have a little fun treasure at the end.
Oh, and maybe if anybody has any ideas for Easter eggs that you would like, I mean, okay, no like fancy cars and big things like that, but just like little energetic, like, hey, right? I love that idea of playing with that and allowing it to come forward however it wants to. So please share your opinions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And and if any of you want to contact us for a reading or a Reiki session, or any of the different services that we offer, all of our information is down below, and you can find us, and we'll be so happy to meet you and actually connect in another way beyond just what this is. But all right,
excellent. Well, much love to you all, and I can't wait to connect again whenever that gets to be. So thank you.
Until next time, friends. Bye.
Bye.